Hey everyone, welcome to Smash Trivia. I'm your host, Smash Trivia John. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram by searching Smash Trivia to follow everything happening with me. I'll be the one with the big old green head in the profile picture. So excited to get into this. This is the Gamma Analysis. Basically, in this series, I'm going to review everything Hulk, all the movies, TV shows, and I also do random other geeky films. Occasionally, not so geeky ones too. And I also like to mix things up once in a while by not reviewing anything. Hope you enjoy Smash Trivia Presents The Gamma Analysis. I want to ask everyone listening if they can please do something for me. Please share the hell out of this podcast with all your friends. If you don't, Hulk will be angry. And Smash Trivia has a Patreon too, so please check that out. We have some fantastic extra content on there. I bet you'll have a Hulk smashing good time. The tiers are as follows: $1 a month is Hulkaholic for $1, $3 a month is the Reading Room with Hulky and Shulky, and $5 a month is Smashing the TV. I also now offer custom trivia games on Fiverr, so if you want to take your game night to the next level, you can hire me. A link to the Fiverr is in the episode description. The Gamma Analysis is also a part of the Blind Knowledge Podcast Network. Now that we have all that important stuff out of the way, let's smash right into this episode. Hey, my Gamma friends, and today I'm joined by Clayton from the Men Who Like Movies podcast. How are you doing, Clayton?
I'm doing great. This movie put me in such a great mood.
All right, that's great. So we are today gonna be reviewing Dave Made a Maze, a film unlike anything I've ever reviewed on here before. And as always, for our alcohol for $1, we have Derek Sager, Gabriel Floral, Film Critter, and Stephen W. All right, let's get into review this film. So, this is a film that I first saw this while just as looking through Peacock and I came across it. I was like, that sounds interesting. And I watched it. I'm like, and watch it. And I was like, wow, that is probably the most creative film I've seen in a long time.
Possibly ever.
Yeah, yeah, probably. So, um, what did you think of the film?
Oh wow. In short, I was just like, this is probably the most creative and inventive thing I've
Yeah,
ever seen. Um, it's a lot. I don't know how they came
yeah,
up with it, how they did it. It was just delightful. Absolutely
yeah.
delightful.
I I feel like this is gonna be one that's hard to review because it's very complicated.
I was just
Uh,
like, man, I'm glad I don't have to run this one because I have no idea how I would even start to
yeah,
break this down.
yeah. So it basically, exactly as the title says, this guy named Dave made a maze, and it is a lot bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Which I so I said the claim before we started recording, but last night when I was watching this, I was watching it with my mom, so I was getting a reaction actually to a lot of things, and one thing, and so I told her before going into the film that this is gonna be a very crazy film, and that the maze may look small from the outside, but it's not small. And she still was very surprised when they went inside the maze, and it was massive.
Absolutely massive. I was just like, I want this to be like a TV series, and every episode is like a
Yeah,
different section of
really
the
cool.
maze. Like, it was just so cool. Like, I wanted to see more of it. And every little
Yeah,
bit, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
like
How did they think of this? How did they do it? This is great.
yeah, and I'm pretty sure everything in the film is practical, which is so
Oh, it looked
cool.
like it. Yeah.
Like that was and I was actually like earlier today. I like you say like a TV show. I was looking up earlier today to see if maybe like the director was thinking about doing a sequel. And he did an interview where he said that he has doesn't have anything planned, but that he would love to go back into the world of the maze. Which I hope he does, because this is a lot of fun, and I feel like if he was able to get a big budget on it and like actually be able to have like something that's like 2 hours long instead of an hour and 20 minutes, I feel like they could go to some even crazier places.
Yeah, I mean, this world, the imagination is your limit. Like
Yeah.
it blew me away. I was
Oh.
wow.
Yeah.
I had seen a
Uh,
trailer for this a while back on Shutter or something, I think, and I was like, oh, that sounds like it might be neat, but I
yeah,
don't know, maybe one night.
I
So
think I saw the trailer too, like many years ago. And then I never even realized that the film came out. So I was looking for something to watch on Peacock, like probably now like 9 months ago or something, and I came across this. I was like, oh, this actually came out. I'll give this a watch. And I was very surprised that this concept works so well.
yeah, I thought it was going to be really like hokey and just like, oh, this will be fun, but like it'll probably be kind of lame. And I was very pleasantly surprised. About 20 minutes in, I was like, oh, I know what I'm picking next time I hang out with one of my buddies. This is gonna love it.
I was telling my mom. I said, you know, oh, I bet this would be a film that if you watch while high would be one wacky time. I mean,
Can confirm.
she said she thinks it would blow someone's mind.
I was not when I started it, and then I was like, well, I need to change that because that would just be a huge waste if I don't. And
Yeah.
it was really fun.
Yeah. So, basically, basically at the start of the film, this guy's girlfriend comes home from a trip and finds that there is this cardboard structure in the middle of their living room, and his her either boyfriend or husband, I don't know. Just calls out from it. It was like, "Honey, you're home," and we find out he's been in there for 3 days,
Where
hasn't
does he
eaten
poop?
it, drinking it, anything. Oh, I love how they he's like, only have one person come, and then they had this entire our house full of people coming.
Yeah, apartment completely full, complete with homeless people
Uh,
and foreign
yeah,
foreign tourists.
the homeless guy, I think is a really funny part, but he tricked them into to letting him come up by saying that he's good with cardboard stuff, and then he doesn't join them in there. He just starts eating their food.
And then just starts wandering through later.
Yeah. No, the guy who wanders through later is one of the friends.
Oh, it was?
And
Which one?
it was
There were so many people.
it at there was one friend who was like, I have to work tomorrow, and so he ends up leaving the house, and then later after everyone else has gone in, he comes back, I guess because he had a joke to make about this, but then found there's no one there, so he decided to go in the maze.
I
Uh,
mean, how could you not?
yeah. Um, one of these sides I really like a lot is the how they did the Minotaur. That was hilarious.
I love that. Just the mixture of like arts and crafts and real people was wonderful and sometimes horrifying. Don't even get me started on the
Yeah,
cardboard Bren at the end. Nightmare fuel.
yeah. It this is this is a film where where Requiem, even though it says it's a horror film, I don't know if I would tell people, "Oh, this is a horror film," that you
Oh
should
yeah,
expect
no.
going into it. But I also don't know exactly what I should tell them because yeah, there's some funny stuff in it, but I wouldn't call it a comedy either.
Oh, this is 100% a comedy. It's so funny.
Uh, Yeah, it is. It's funny, but it's not. It's just not your stereotypical comedy. I mean,
There's nothing stereotypical about this movie at all.
yeah.
I every once in a while I'll see a film and all I can think is like, oh God, these actors are so lucky. This had to be the most fun project you will
Yeah.
ever do in your entire life.
Oh yeah, definitely. Um, um, one of the things I find really interesting, a and I don't understand exactly why they chose to do it, but I find it really interesting, is the perception room where there's
Oh my
where
God.
they had everything is these exact these weird sizes that only work because of the position the camera's in, which makes you wonder, did Dave know that this camera was gonna be there?
Well, he didn't make all the rooms, so that one might have
Yeah.
just been a random one.
Hmm.
Yeah, that blew my mind like 5 times in the space of like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Perspective shots are always so cool, and just it was
Oh
everything
yeah.
was just so unexpected. Like when the guy goes up and
Uh,
goes to lift the cup, and it's just not there, and the guy behind him picks it up. I was just like, what?
uh, I think one of the funniest things in the film has to be that he created a giant vagina in there and then
Tried to
stuck his
touch it.
hand in and somehow that caused his hand to turn into cardboard.
That doesn't get fixed when they get out.
No, it doesn't.
I was waiting for the scene of him to
Like
just like
my
rip it, like
yeah,
tear it off, and just think, nope, it's stuck that way.
as it got out at the end, my mom was saying, "Oh, this must be just a really bad trip that these characters are on." And I'm like, no, this is definitely real. There, like his hand is still cardboard, or it is like the people are still dead.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at the end that the dead people didn't like get up out of the cardboard mess on the floor, and I
Yeah,
was like, oh damn, they really killed him.
I feel sorry for the guy who has to tell their families, and your family member he died in a maze, and
Made out of cardboard in
we
our buddy's
don't
living room. No.
we don't have a body for your family member. Um, like that's going to cause a lot of questions.
I had questions. I know I was like, how are they gonna explain this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
On the bright side,
Which
I mean, there's not like blood or bodies anywhere that are gonna get found, so it's not like they'll go to jail for it. Just might be looked at with suspicion for a while.
yeah, probably a lot of position for a while. Oh, which I main really is that what I want a sequel is partially to figure out to find out like what is there something still happening like with those characters that end up dying and being stuck in the maze is if like the if like the Minotaur was able to get out, that makes me wonder if there's like if this world of the maze may actually still exist somehow, and there's something still to it. But also makes me wonder like what exactly was this world? Or since like since obviously it is bigger on the inside, and you're I'm wondering if maybe like they were shrunken maybe when they went inside somehow.
I feel like it just is just another plane of existence.
Yeah,
I don't know how it came to
yeah,
life,
and I
but I don't
think
think they shrunk. I think it really
yeah,
just is like,
maybe.
when you go in the TARDIS on Doctor Who,
Hmm.
it's not the size of a
Yeah,
police box, it's massive.
yeah, definitely, and like, but yeah, I think it would be. I think there's a lot of different places they can explore with a sequel, and also like seeing like what ends up happening with the Minotaur and are out in the real world.
Yeah, it's it's just wonderful. I laughed a lot, a lot, a lot,
Oh
a lot,
yeah.
a lot at the the bit with the vagina. Um and every single person that comes in is like mesmerized, and then they're like, "It's a trap."
Yeah,
They do it like 6 times in a row, and I'm like,
and like
"Are they
there's
are they going to do it
and it,
again?" And they do.
afterwards oh, one of the people's like, I gotta go check lighting, and I was like, oh, I gotta check lighting too. Yes, right, yeah, obviously because he wants wants to be able to stay in this room. Wait, I'm pretty sure as well the sound operator guy, when he went off separate from the group, and got lost. I'm guessing he was going back there as well.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought he went off to do.
Yeah. Though what surprised me was like I was expecting after that if he did it actually do that, and also then the guy at the end who goes back to the vagina river. They don't end up having paper cardboard or hands like Dave did. So I'm guessing they were happily able to control themselves and not put their hand in.
I mean, maybe they touched themselves while looking at it and didn't try to touch it. Because I
Maybe.
mean, I was also wondering, I'm like, are they going to do the gag if this guy comes back and his dick's going to be made of cardboard or something? But they didn't go there. But I like that I
uh,
wondered that.
I mean,
You don't often get to think of
I
something like
would,
that during a movie.
I would not be been surprised. I'm pretty sure earlier in the film there was a dildo wrapped in
There
cardboard.
was a little paper dildo. I I saw that.
Like, since these things in the maze were alive, I have to wonder what the giant head was thinking of, like when all these people just funneled into his mouth. Like, what the hell are you people doing? Why are you trying to get in my mouth?
He probably was like, "Yeah, I gotta eat."
Oh man,
And then
it's
when they
like,
all just like randomly turn into like cardboard puppets for a scene for no
yeah.
reason whatsoever.
And then somehow the Minotaur is able to just come back out of being a puppet while being in the same room as them.
Yep, powers,
Oh, that's scary.
Minotaur powers.
Uh, I'm trying
Dude,
to think like, yeah,
the scene that tripped me out the most is when him and his girlfriend are sitting in that room and just it
yeah,
keeps changing
yeah.
outfits on them nonstop, but then it like
That
goes
scene.
back and it's just made of paper and then just
Mhm.
like tearing it off and I'm like,
Yeah, that scene trips me out a lot too. And honestly, I'm like, out of all the film, that's the scene I'm most confused by because I don't understand what was going on there.
well, this movie, while being incredibly funny, it did have some things to say on just kind of that
Mm.
feeling when you're approaching middle age and you haven't really accomplished anything and are changing your
Mm.
mind, not being able to
Oh
finish
yeah.
stuff, which I'm 34, can relate. I was just like, damn, I wasn't expecting this to hit me in the feels a little bit. And I think that was what that was about because at one point, she's in a wedding dress. It's just like, oh, I changed my mind. Um,
Hmm. That makes
and
sense.
so I think that's what that scene was aiming for, but also it was just really fun visually, so I
Yeah.
didn't care.
Oh yeah, definitely. The one joke throughout that kept happening throughout the film. Kept hilarious was when they kept saying, "You fuck my wife."
The rhyming also made me laugh.
and they and the one guy like literally says it as he's falling to his death.
Yeah. It was nice of him to throw the camera up, though.
Yeah. Oh man, this I I feel it. This is honestly so high review because I'm like, yeah, there's so many funny things to this, but I'm like, I don't know
Like a
exactly
million
what
things
to
happen, but nothing
say.
happens.
I don't know exactly what to say. Oh, like I feel like after the events of this film, any normal, not insane person would probably tell Dave, I I either want to break up or I want to divorce. I don't. This is too much.
they seem like a really good couple. Like, I mean, she comes home to this maze in her living room that he's been in for 3 days, and she's just kind of like,
Mm.
okay. And like when he gives her the sword, she's just like, impulse buy. It's not to
Yeah.
register.
Yeah, like as if
They
this,
seem great.
as if you normally find swords right by a register.
And like they seem like they get each other and are in it
Mm.
for the long haul. And she's used to his stuff. And after you go through a magical experience like that together, I feel like you'd be bonded.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Like, babe,
Uh,
remember when we got turned into cardboard in that weird maze you made in our living room that came to life?
and then, and most likely it's after I got home. They should see on the news. There is a minotaur made of cardboard just roaming the streets. It's everyone be alarmed.
That would have been a great like mid-credit scene to just like them watching TV and that in the background and she's like, Dave.
Oh man. So, during the interview with the director, where he mentioned that he wouldn't mind going back into this world, he also said that he has um he has three feature scripts that he's written. He hasn't that they haven't made yet, and they're all tonal mashups of ups. One leans into horror, one leans into adventure, and then one into fairy tales.
I mean,
Mm.
just based on this, I will watch anything this guy makes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And just even being
It's
able to pull this together visually was just insane.
oh
And,
yeah.
and like, on paper,
Yeah.
on cardboard, as you might say, this shouldn't work. Like, you've got these
Yeah.
characters wandering through a cardboard landscape. That shouldn't work.
It,
And it does.
I honestly feel bad for the people who made it because as like these according to Wikipedia, the budget for this film was greater than $500,000 and they only made a 34,000 at the box office. And
Yeah.
that's a really big a difference in of money that they lost.
But I mean, movies and stuff are difficult in the
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
of process and the producers. I
Mm.
feel like this isn't the type of movie that ever would have gotten like a
Oh
huge
yeah.
release or made tons of money. Like, did this really ever go anywhere? Like, was this released on a wide release? I can't imagine
I
if they showed
don't.
this on, you know,
Yeah.
thousands of screens across America.
Yeah. No. But it
Probably
is
played
just
for a weekend
like
at like art
I
cinemas.
but I can definitely understand that. But like because of how much effort put into this and how fun of film it is. I wish they were able to make more money from it.
Mm. I mean, I feel like this movie is like it's on a bunch of streaming things, so I'm sure
Oh
it's
yeah.
still making money in
Hmm.
some form in rights and everything. And this is the type of movie that even if it didn't make it huge theatrically, I feel like it's gonna find its footing at home from people that discovered
Hmm.
and are like, hey, there's this like you or like, hey, this crazy movie. And I'm like, oh yeah, I needed to watch that. And now I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I gotta get my friend to get this and watch this. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
this
like
is gonna be something I watch, a few times a year, probably like, well, I'm feeling kind of down. I'm gonna watch Dave Made a Maze. Cheer me up for
yeah.
an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. That's kind of like how I feel about Howard the Duck. It's such a crazy film, a film that after I watched it, I instantly was like, I need to find ways to make everybody around me watch this film.
I have to ask, I've not watched Howard the Duck. It's on my bucket list to watch at some point. But from what I've heard, isn't Howard the Duck like actually bad though? Dave Made a Maze like
Okay,
isn't bad. It's pretty good,
the thing is,
objectively speaking.
a lot of people find it bad. I actually love the film. I have a massive amount of fun watching it. And and it is it's not nearly as ridiculous as Dave Made Amazes, but it is honestly a really fun on film as long as you can just turn off your brain and
I have a hard time turning off
don't
my brain, so I'll
expect
probably hate
and
it.
like don't expect it to be like some kind of masterpiece. It's just like
I
have
mean,
fun
from
with it.
everything I've heard about Howard the Duck, I don't imagine a scenario that I would ever sit down to watch Howard the Duck expecting a
Yeah,
masterpiece.
it's a like it's a film. It's a very divisive film because I've met people who absolutely hate the film, and then other people who like me just who absolutely love it.
I think
And
you're the only person I've ever heard talk about Howard the Duck positively.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, which I've like I I didn't even realize until like a few weeks ago that I bring up that film a lot on the podcast until one of the people I was on with and they were like, "Hey, you seem to mention that like almost every episode. You really should make that be an actual thing where you just make sure to mention it every episode." So I was like,
Somehow bring up
okay,
Howard the
sounds
Duck.
good. I'll do that. And I love having a long running joke on the podcast as but you know if you ever want a reason to watch Howard the Duck, I'd happily come on you guys' podcast as to do it with you
Oh my
guys.
God, Sean would kill me if I made him watch Howard the Duck.
Oh man, yeah, I have gone on multiple podcasts already doing a Howard the Duck, and on the last one that I did, and on one of the people were very annoyed, but annoyed because of the infamous duck tits that are in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, they didn't know that that was gonna be in the film. So
Oh.
they went in and they went in and that affected their entire viewing experience when they saw that.
Yeah, I feel like you should warn people about that.
Yeah, I thought about that and afterwards. I was like, maybe I should have warned them. Oh man. So I think like, this might be one of my shortest episodes in a long time because there's like even though there's so much that happens in this film, it's like I can't think of a lot to talk about.
I mean, there's a lot of really fun little effects in it. I
Yeah.
mean, from the blood being basically
Yeah,
confetti is
yeah. Then
wonderful.
and so we have blood being confetti. And then one of the things they mentioned, particularly like someone's on guts came out, and those were silly string.
Yeah. I was like, oh, silly string. I haven't thought about that being a thing in forever. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I thought my thing was on my right.
No, it's all right. It's absolutely all right. The designs of everything look so amazing. It was really fun when they all suddenly turned black and white, and they were able to
Yeah, that was
tell
so
that they're
cool.
black and white. I that was and well, then there happened to be a projector or played this a indie film, another one from the documentary director who's in this, which I haven't even mentioned yet. There's like throughout the film there like there's like someone who's filming everything as a documentary.
Yeah, one of their friends happens to be making a documentary. It's very helpful and
Yeah,
provides some really funny moments.
I.
Dude, in the perspective room, when the
Mhm.
so the film crew is like leaning out the door, but their heads are in the window on the other side, and all this other stuff's happening. I was just like,
Yeah.
this is wonderful.
Oh man.
The one little bit was, do you want to know what my favorite moment in this entire movie was?
Sure.
I don't know why.
Sure.
So when they're making, the heart of the maze so they can destroy it, and him and his girlfriend are sitting there, and he's using his scissors to cut up, cut stuff up, but like every time he makes a cut, somebody apparently underneath. I was just like thinking about the logistics of this as I was watching it. I'm like, this had to be ridiculous to film. It was like throwing up tons of little bits of paper with every cut. So it's just
Yeah. Yeah,
that
I
moment
thought
right
about
there. I was
that
just like,
too.
this is my favorite thing that has happened this entire movie. It was
Yeah.
just so funny. And like
Oh
they're
my
sitting there like
god.
2 feet apart. Someone's laying on the floor, throwing up like handfuls of paper.
Yeah. Oh my god. And like the conversation with the cardboard or version of Bran and it's just like they're trying to make her kind of distract her, and it's honestly kind of hilarious to me
I
in the
found that scene kind of
conversation.
terrifying though.
Yeah, it's a little bit terrifying, but I think at the like she'd be like, "Oh, you think that I'm doing
I need a high five.
good?"
It's just the whole like I don't know. It looked creepy
Yeah.
anyway, but the human eyes behind that like cardboard,
Hmm.
it was really unsettling. I was just like, that's upsetting.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
And then it would
Absolutely.
cut away to something funny, and I'm like, oh, that's great.
Speaking of eye, it was really weird when they open a wall up to see this eye, and then the end reveal it's like a movie set sort of thing where it was like three different pieces.
Yeah, you look at it and it's an eye, but then like from the side, it's all different
Yeah.
pieces. They just had a lot of really cool stuff like that, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
this is just wonderful. Like they
Definitely.
just had all these ideas of like cool things to do, and we're able to fit it in this wacky little
Mhm.
story.
Yeah, and like they're able to fit so much stuff in just an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
And like it's not a
that's
super
really
dense story or
surprising.
anything, but like just the jokes and visual gags they have in like every single scene is
Mhm.
just so funny. And
Yeah, there's
the actress that plays his girlfriend, I've decided that like Indian girls are the funniest people on the planet. Like every single time I see one of them in a comedy, it's the funniest performance I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm just like, they need to be
mm,
a superstar. Like, why are they not
oh yeah.
making
I feel like
millions and millions and millions of movies?
yeah, I feel like I recognize her in the film, but I haven't looked and see if there's something that she's is in that I've seen as well.
I am looking right now
This
because if she is, I want to watch more things.
oh yeah. Yeah, there's a scene. I love the use of like this temporary wall with the all using a blanket or something. That was really funny. I and then they had like the scene where and like he started actually breaking through, and so a couple
That
people
was
had
so
to
cool.
stay behind and put it back together. The whole time through
I
that
just
scene,
love
I
that they
was
took a
just like,
chair and like jammed it in like you would with a real door, like putting it under the handle.
oh yeah. I think the whole time during that scene, I was shouting, "Just forget it, run away! He's gonna break through."
I just love that like when they first go in the maze, it's like, whoa, it really is bigger on the inside. But I'm like, they're reacting really well to this insane situation.
Yeah, and the only reason why I was thinking maybe this was like they were miniaturized was because like they went into this room where it is the piano, a electric piano. And they were able to just
Oh, that was so
walk
cool.
through pieces is of it. Uh, um, but nothing else really in the film is like that. So yeah, it doesn't actually really make a lot of sense. Them just being sort of
Even if it was a
tiny.
real keyboard, they shouldn't have been able to go into the black keys.
Yeah.
Dude, the art direction on this movie was out of this
Oh
world.
yeah. And they
Like,
and then I loved how like both in the opening and then at the end they did like these little animated sequences. That was
I,
real fun.
dude, if a movie wants to get on my good side, have an animated credit sequence. Nothing
Oh
delights me
yeah,
more
definitely.
than a live action movie with a fun animated credit sequence. It's just delightful. Absolutely
Yeah,
delightful.
definitely. It's a lot of fun. uh, hmm. What else to talk about? Uh, uh, there was a weird room where it definitely looked like there was other people in there behind a sheet that were dancing. I wonder about
Yeah,
those
sexy
people.
dancing.
If they were if that was actually real or if they were just they were it was just the maze playing tricks with their mind. Um,
I mean, that
there's
maze, as they say, took on a life of its own.
mm,
So
like there was two people who had come to the house who they did go into the maze, but we but for most of the film we didn't see them. It was the this um I think they said they were like French tourists or something.
yeah, I was trying to
And then
remember. I was
there
like, what country did they say they were from? But yeah, I was like, what happened to the
uh,
tourists? Did they just leave or did they like what happened?
there was there was one scene in near the end of the film as they were running out where you just see in the background they are having a picnic inside the maze. Yeah.
I loved that he made a maze inside the maze. And you're like, you didn't even finish that one. And they just like
Yeah.
walked through it.
Like when they decide, all right, we're going to like fix it, exit. They like he throws out all of the items from his bag, and they land on the floor so perfectly, almost as if it's like a video game thing where you're supposed to choose an item.
I was like, this is the Wes Anderson shot. Awesome. It made me
Yeah,
happy.
I was actually thinking
Everything
about
in
the
this
whole
movie made
film.
me happy.
Yeah, I was actually watching. I was thinking, I wonder how. I wonder what would it be like if they trying to mix this with Wes Anderson's style. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for Wes Anderson's new movie. Asteroid City looks so good.
Oh yeah, I'm
I was
yeah, I'm
filling out
probably
my
gonna watch
calendar
that.
for June this morning and
I,
putting down like what I had to do and like what stuff was coming out so I wouldn't forget about it. I was like, ooh, Wes Anderson's movie is this month.
I've actually only seen one Wes Anderson film, and it's The French Dispatch. I want to
That's
go
my least
back
favorite
and
one that I've seen.
I want to go back and watch all the rest of his films because what like the French Dispatch. It's not great, I don't think.
I'm so
But there is
so
some
glad you say
cool
that.
things in it.
So I, as a general rule, love Wes Anderson movies,
Mm-hmm.
and my buddy that I was like, oh, I need to show him this movie.
Mm-hmm.
We always want to go see like Wes Anderson movies together, and
Yeah.
that movie, The French Dispatch, when it came out, we went and saw it, and he loved it, and I was just like, really?
Mm-hmm.
And like Timothy Chalamet is like the biggest love of my life,
Oh,
and he's in that movie, so I expected to just love it, and I was just
no,
like, it's okay. Um, and then I
I
was
really
like, a few months
the
ago, I watched it again to see if I liked it better, and
mm,
I was like, I don't. I liked it. Well, I did like it a little better the
honestly,
first time, but
to
not
be
a
honest,
lot.
when I watch it because the only reason I actually watched it was because before I started doing podcasts, I was doing short reviews on YouTube, and I decided to do one of that because it was in theaters at the time. I'm and So I was like writing my notes up for it. I was like, this is gonna be really hard to review. Because of the fact it's three different like short things. But like I ended up deciding like I think I liked the best out of the three. The like sort of detective story that was the last one, but then then actually the one I liked the least was the one that had Timothy Chalamet. I just because it felt really weird to me the relationship in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny because I mean, I love Frances McDormand. Like, she's phenomenal. Timothy
Mhm.
Chalamet is phenomenal. Like, dialogue was funny and everything, but it was just like, I don't know. But I would
Yeah.
say if you're gonna do a Wes Anderson journey, The Royal Tenenbaums, Grand Budapest Hotel,
Mhm.
and if you want to throw in something kind of wacky, Isle of Dogs, watch those
Okay.
three. Those are the
I'm
ones that I
like
would recommend the most highly, but especially Royal Tenenbaums and
mhm.
Grand Budapest Hotel. Those are
Okay.
phenomenal.
Yeah. I some that I particularly want to check out because they look like fun is the Life Aquatic like
I
and
have not seen that one yet. It's in my
and
list, but I haven't gotten to it.
and the other is the Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I haven't seen that one either. Those are like, and Moonrise Kingdom. I think those are the three that I'm like, oh, I need
Hmm.
to see those.
Uh, I I remember seeing trailers for Moonrise Kingdom when it first came out, but I was at an age where I wasn't allowed to watch an R-rated film, so I didn't end up getting to watch it then, and that is another one that I kind of want to now go and watch. Oh, they like I enjoy Bill Murray a lot as an actor. No, or so that's one thing that's it's kind of fun with going to see from with seeing these, but at the same time, I because of things that have come out within the last like year or so,
Yeah.
kind of hate him as a person. So I'm like, I don't know if I should be going try to watch it particularly for him.
I mean,
Yeah,
my opinion on that stuff is complicated. You kind of have to go with your own moral judgment,
yeah.
but
It ain't to
finding out
me.
somebody sucks, like, it kind of colors some things of their performances, but like,
Yeah.
they're not the only person that worked on a movie. A
Oh,
ton of
yeah.
other people
Like
put in so much work, and like, if it's a good story and a good performance, like, am I going to go support them in theaters in the future? Probably not.
yeah.
But
Like.
other things like American Beauty is one of my favorite movies. Kevin Spacey's a piece of shit. I
Mhm.
still watch American Beauty.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna throw away my
I
copy
understand
of
that.
it because he's a shitty person.
Yeah, like how I feel about it is like I very much understand the idea of like I separate the arson from the art, and I would love to be able to be like that. But I have a hard time doing that on some
Mm.
films, particularly when a character feels like what we know of the actor in real life
Yeah, it
makes
gets
it
tough like
hard.
that. And it's
Like,
also when they come out with new stuff, I'm like, oh, they shouldn't still be getting hired. I'm not gonna like support their
mhm,
new stuff, but I mean the stuff that's already out in the world, that's a good piece of art,
uh,
that wasn't just like them on their own. People didn't, or to our knowledge, people didn't know they were a piece of shit
mhm.
about about that, and
Yeah,
times change and stuff.
like I loved the film Baby Driver when it came out, but now I have a hard time I was going back to that because now after knowing about all the stuff about Kevin Spacey, because of a particular line on line in the film from his character where he was like he said like sign like I like the balls on that kid and in the film it's like
I shouldn't have
that
laughed,
does
but that
not
I forgot that
that
line
does
was in there. I
not
haven't watched Baby
work
Driver in
well.
forever, and I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's like that makes me that very much reminds me of how of what he's done in real life. So it makes
Yeah,
it a lot harder to watch it. Like I just, but
I'm
if a
so sad
character
you
is
told
like,
me that line because I was like, man, if I had just been watching Baby Driver one day and that line came out of Kevin Spacey's mouth, and I like made that connection. That's either a genius
oh
piece of writing or very unfortunate if somebody was just like, I'm gonna
yeah,
make Kevin Spacey say this. Let's do a rewrite and add
uh,
this line. It'll work great down the
oh
road.
yeah. It would, know, have you seen over the past few years how Kevin Spacey is like every once in a while randomly like been like coming back and like posting a video online. They're always super creepy. He now
I have
after
not.
he got canceled, it's like what the hell is going on with this guy?
I don't fucking know.
Oh man. Is there anything else we really need we should really talk about with Dave Made Maze as you can think of?
Well, Dave made a maze. It's
A
almost like you don't
labyrinth,
even want to talk
actually.
about it because you just want people to like just experience it for themselves.
Yeah.
It's just go watch it. If you're hearing this, go watch this movie. It's
Oh yeah,
wonderful. You're not going to
definitely.
regret it. And even
Definitely
if you do, for
go
some
watch
reason,
it.
have no sense of humor or joy in your life and just hate it, it's an hour and 20 minutes.
Go watch it.
The Succession finale was longer than that.
Ask yourself, would you smash or pass the Minotaur?
Minotaur did have a great vibe. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, he did. That's the main reason I said that. Oh God. So before I end this off, as I like to do every episode now, I always I want to offer that you can have me say something. I'm gonna announce your voice. Is there any funny phrases you'd like me to say? You can have it. You can either do something based on the film, or you can just do something random, whatever you want to do.
um, okay, I'll give you a line from Evil Dead Rise.
Oh yeah.
I'm free
Hey, you
now.
wanna? You said.
I'm free now, free from all you titty sucking parasites.
All right. I'm free now. Free from all your titty sucking parasites.
Wonderful.
Oh man, I'm at some point I'm gonna need to watch Evil Dead Rise. I haven't seen it yet.
I just recorded an episode about it on somebody's podcast. I had quite a journey with that. I hated it the first time I saw it, and now I quite like it,
Yeah,
even though I do
I'm
think it has
so
flaws. But it's fun. Definitely watch it.
this is something this is something I think I've brought up multiple times already on my podcast, but like I'm excited to watch it, but also at the same time like I'm kind of scared to watch it because I'm like there is a specific tone that I expect out of the Evil Dead movies. This a humorous is mixed with horror, and all of the trailers I've seen for Evil Dead Rise don't feel like there's nearly as much of the humorous side as I'm used to. And that's I really want that out of the Evil Dead franchise.
Oh, it's very funny. I mean, Evil Dead 2013 doesn't have much humor. Like it's the most like hardcore of them, but Evil Dead Rise is pretty funny.
Okay,
It's yeah, it's
yeah.
a good entry.
I'll
I would
definitely be
recommend it.
having to see that at some time soon. To be honest, so I had one. I've not actually seen in the 2013 one yet
That is
either.
one of my like top three favorite horror movies of all time. Get on that. There's
Um,
not a lot of humor, but it
yeah,
is
I to be honest,
hardcore.
like my favorite thing out of the Evil Dead franchise is what is that most people who are fans of the franchise would not say, but it's the Ash versus Evil Dead TV series. I have a
Everybody I
lot
know
of
that is
fun
a
with
fan of
that.
Evil Dead loves Ash vs. the Evil Dead, as they should, because that
Yeah,
show is phenomenal. It's like
it's
the best of
it is
it's the best of Evil Dead.
hilarious. It's like and I also love it for the
The
fact that
puppet sequence in Ash vs. Evil Dead too.
I also love it for the fact that I went to a Comic Con and on where Bruce Campbell was there and during his panel someone asked him how do you feel about how they ended off Ash vs Evil Dead way too early, and he was like, I don't think they ended off early. I like how the show ended.
I thought
And
it ended great. I would
like
have loved to see more, but I think it was a great three season run.
like I just found I just found it hilarious how like he just immediately shut the guy down who was
Bruce
complaining about
Campbell
the
does
end of it.
not give a fuck. I love it.
Yeah. Then there was also I saw the video from the from an Evil Dead Rise I screening where someone was like, "This movie sucks." Like the Bruce Campbell was just all, "Well, then get the fuck out of here."
That's Bruce Campbell is a treasure, an
Oh
absolute
yeah,
treasure.
I really would love to love for Bruce Campbell to do a comedy special because I think that would be an amazing time.
Also, like a roast of Bruce Campbell would be so funny.
Oh god, that would be great. I I'm thinking of like so you definitely would have Sam Raimi there. You probably you I don't know whether you'd have Toby Maguire there or not because like thing is, I think a lot of fans will associate a Tobey Maguire with him because of the Spider-Man films, but it kind of sounds based on how Bruce Campbell talks that him and Tobey Maguire aren't actually friends, really.
I would think not, because I think Tobey Maguire is kind of an asshole.
Um, I'm trying to think. Other than that, I don't
And Bruce
know
Campbell's got a pretty long career.
who all you would have at it.
He's done a lot of stuff. I mean, Bruce Campbell was on Fargo.
Yeah.
Like he
Oh,
knows
I would.
people, and he's
I
had a long career. I mean,
yeah.
since the 80s. I mean, he's
It's
worked
like
with a lot of people, and everybody
yeah.
loves Bruce Campbell.
I
So
probably I would probably put like the two people they starred with in Ash versus Evil Dead at in it. Um,
I
yeah,
mean, get Xena Warrior Princess, have her be in it.
yeah. Like he also was one of these stars in a TV show that I loved. That I actually watched before watching all of Evil Dead, which was Burn Notice. And but
I think my
I
parents
don't
watched that
know.
show.
I don't know if the other stars in it are funny enough people for it to work in a roast, even though I'm pretty sure he is friends with them still. Um, but yeah, I would love a roast of Bruce Campbell. Well, I don't think there's much else for me to talk about, so I'm gonna end this
Right.
off. We've gone quite off the rails with this one. I'm not like probably about only half the time talking about Dave Made a Maze, but honestly, I don't mind that because as you said, I think it's best for people to just experience this film.
Yeah,
Uh,
100%. Like, highly recommend. Go watch it.
I,
If you partake, smoke a little weed, watch this movie.
oh yeah,
Um,
like
great time. You will
I should.
not be
What I said.
disappointed.
Well, what did I say? When I suggested you come on for this, did you have any like thinking of like how crazy this would end up being?
Like, I had read the description and I think I had watched the trailer
Mhm.
back when I first like was aware of this movie. But even, I mean, the trailer was actually a pretty good representation of what the movie is, but I didn't expect that it would sustain that like level of craziness for the
Yeah,
entire runtime. Like it really shocked me. I was not,
yeah.
and yeah, some of that stuff I was like, man, I would have never even thought I would see this in my life ever. But I'm really glad I did.
You mean you didn't expect to see a gigantic vagina made out of cardboard in your life?
I mean, I've seen weirder vaginas. Like, I mean, even in Succession, one of the seasons, there was a birthday party, and like the entrance to it was this big, long, pink tunnel that they kept making jokes that it was his vagina, that it was their mom's vagina. So I mean,
When I was watching this last night with my mom, uh, um, my mom did not realize at first that it was supposed to be a vagina. She thought it was a stomach.
um, yeah. Tell your mom, take a mirror, watch it again, look down there, and be like, oh,
Well, thank you for joining me, Clayton, for this. This was a lot of fun to review this with you. And
yeah,
again,
I'm sorry I
and
didn't have more to say about the movie. It's just
no,
like
no,
there are no
you're
words, but
fine.
I'm so glad you asked me to do this because God knows
Yeah.
if I would have ever actually gotten around to watching this on my own.
I,
And now I'm gonna watch it
I
like a
could
few
definitely
times a year.
understand. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. And it's a film that's definitely not on many people's radar. Are so
Yeah, I want
are
to get it on people's
what
radar.
you
Like
did.
this is one of those
Yeah.
things that like even though it's on a bunch of streaming services, I'm like, I'm gonna buy this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give them a little bit of money and buy this and have it in my collection because this is great. This is 100% up my alley.
What you liked it so much. Maybe if you look on the Dave Made of Maze website, they're actually selling merchandise for it. So maybe you might like to get some kind of merchandise for it.
I mean, depending on what they have, that could be really awesome merchandise.
Yeah. Like I actually look because I saw it earlier today, and it looked like it had some pretty interesting items. Let me see which I love how all of the branding for the film um uh, um uh, it's all Dave made a blank like their Twitter account is called Dave Made a Tweet, and and the legal company that made this is Dave Made an LLC.
That's wonderful. I like that.
So okay, they only have 4 items on the site. One of them is a T-shirt, which I don't understand what it has actually to do with the film.
Is it the
Um,
t-shirt that one guy wears? Oh, can you hold up? Let me see. Yeah, that's a t-shirt one of his friends wears. And so like when he goes into
okay,
the maze, it's very like, 8-bit game looking. And then at the end
okay,
when he comes out of the maze, it's like more of like a cool
Ooh,
graphic design. Like it's the
yeah,
same thing, but
okay. And then there is both Blu-ray and DVD. And then the third thing is a particular thing I find and interesting, which is a pinball machine made out of cardboard.
oh, that's awesome. I wonder how big that is. That's so cool.
I would hope it's pretty big since it's $75.
Oh wow.
I would hope that that's big.
That is cool though.
Yeah. Um, which I hope that the filmmaker behind this actually ends up making some more films because I expect he has a lot of other crazy ideas up his sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, give him a Marvel movie.
Probably.
Let them have
Oh
some
God.
originality and fun for once.
Imagine if instead of Sam Raimi, he was who did a Multiverse of
Multiverse of
Madness.
Madness.
That would be one crazy ass film.
I feel like it would have been less dark. Uh,
I feel like that would like
I love
actually
that they let Sam
blow
Raimi do
people's
Multiverse of
minds.
Madness, but yeah, in one of those other
Oh
universes, he got to direct the movie.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna end this off. So, thank you everyone for listening. If you like this Gambit analysis, please give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or a 5-star rating on Spotify. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this film. Please let me know and please watch the film because this is quite an experience and everybody needs to experience it. And if you'd like to listen to more from me, please subscribe. Many more Gamma analysis from me coming, so keep on the lookout. This again is your host, Master John, signing off.